Has anyone ever told you how to turn prospects into clients with lasagna? Let's set the scene. You need a new client. You've developed a promising lead, you've had some positive conversations with stakeholders, and you're invited to pitch, but then, for some reason, they go cold and you lose them. How do you stop this from happening again? With these 3 lasagnas. And I don't mean you need to invite your prospects round to dinner. I mean, you can if you want to, but I'll let someone else explain.
Hi, this is Jamie Warner from Envirosoft. I built my MSP organically to $10 million in revenue.
Jamie has such an inspirational story. He's built a fantastically successful MSP business to a size most could only dream of. So how did he do it? How did he get prospects to sign on the dotted line? What specific things did he do to build such impressive growth? Is there some amazing insight he can give us that other business owners could take away and use? Well, yes, there is. I spoke to Jamie about his business, and he shared with me a few of the things that he does to give him the best chance of success, including one awesome tip on how he's dramatically improved his prospect conversion rate and regular monthly revenue.
A lot of people are going out and actually having the conversation, but what they're doing is they're doing this kind of old approach of kind of a one option approach. And that's where I start to talk about things like good, better, best and tactical things where you can get buyers to make buying decisions faster.
Jamie's got some great advice to give, and it's not just an MSP specific thing. It could just as easily be applied to any business selling products or services. And when Jamie explains how it works, I think you'll be surprised at how obvious a strategy it is and wonder why more MSPs don't do it, perhaps even why your MSP isn't doing it. That strategy can be described in just 3 words. I'll let Jamie explain.
Ultimately, in the market, think of any buyer, think of yourself personally. When you go to a supermarket and you look for toilet paper, you intrinsically have the choice between the rough as guts cheap toilet paper and the Cleopatra smooth, beautiful toilet paper. The same goes for shoes, grapes, yogurt, I don't care what it is. As buyers, we're conditioned to have options. Starbucks coffee, all around the world. What do you want? Good, better, best, small, medium, large. It's the same thing over and over again.
Good, better, best. Makes sense, right? And yet there are very few MSPs out there that do it. But why? Well, the fact that very few MSPs do it is the reason that very few MSPs do it. Confused? Let's think about it like this. You've seen those nature documentaries out on the African plains where the lions are stalking a herd of wildebeest. A couple of lions and a couple hundred other animals all huddled together. Why do they do that? Surely they're more visible, a huge target, like they've got a massive eat me bullseye all over them. But those wildebeest are actually in a herd, so they don't get eaten. They think there's safety in numbers. And inevitably the wildebeest that does get eaten is the one that splits off from the herd. You don't want to be eaten! Or to put that another way, you don't want to endanger yourself or your business by moving away from the herd. Part of the reason Jamie's enjoyed the success he has is because he isn't afraid to stand apart from the herd, because he's seen the data.
There's this conjecture out there going, I don't think good, better, best works, but this is fundamentally researched buyer behavior. And so to poo-poo it without any thought and just poo-poo it because someone said it doesn't work is really going against everything that's been researched. So have a look at a book called Monetizing Innovation. Have a look at a Harvard Business Review article about good, better, best, and you'll see what I mean. Have a good read of it. And it's important for you to understand because this is the journey the buyer goes through.
So industry research and Jamie's own experience suggests that a good, better, best pricing system works to convert prospects and generate more recurring revenue. But how does it work? And what does it have to do with a trio of Italian-inspired microwave meals?
If buyers are intrinsically conditioned to buy an options, it works really well because if you give someone one option, it's what they call a take it or leave it proposition. The buyer can fundamentally only say yes, no, or go dark. And I bet you $1 million people listening to this have seen their clients go, oh, let me have a think about it. Oh, I'll come back to you on that. And they don't come back to you because they don't know what to do because they can't negotiate with you. Because essentially when you only have one option, the only thing they can negotiate on is price. Because you've got everything included, so they can kind of only say, oh, well, can you reduce the price a little bit? Whereas when you have packages, you go, well, I could take this out and this out to meet your budget. So with Good, Better, Best, you're catering to what they call 3 buying personas. It's the budget conscious, middle of the road, and your premium buyer.
Jamie's right, isn't he? We've all had that experience of putting together a pitch for a prospect which you know will be exactly what they need at a fair price, only to have them ghost you. It's really frustrating. If you could just have another conversation with them, maybe you could close more deals. And here's where a systemized good, better, best strategy can massively improve your chances of winning that client.
So let's give an example where, for example, this is a good one. We're pitching for some new business, just like all of you in our MSP right now. And the client, lots of clients will be saying to you, come back to me with your recommendations. So MSPs are running around going, yes, I will, and I'll audit it, and I'll give you the premium solution, the 3 to 5 year solution. So they'll slap a 1 number with their support plans, which is also probably 1 number, to the client. And now the client's looking at 3 MSPs. They're like, oh, well, you were 30 grand, you were 20, and oh, hang on, you were like 3 prices. So straight away, we don't get knocked out on price because they have to actually speak to us and go, hang on, you're giving us 3 options. Well, which one is it? And you can go into that sort of consultative discussion to talk about it with them. So there's so many benefits of doing it, but what it really achieves you to do is to get a buyer to make a buying decision. You intrinsically end up selling more to them anyway through this structure, and it is a more aligned process to how buyers are used to buying in that sense in their general day-to-day life. So it's fascinating and it works a treat.
In other words, when you use a good, better, best strategy, that potential new client is no longer judging you against your competition, comparing your lasagna with, say, a shepherd's pie or a chicken jalfrezi. That potential new client is judging your 3 lasagna options against each other and thinking, well, I really like lasagna, but I don't want to spend that much on a microwave meal. But I do want something that tastes nice. Using a good, better, best strategy invites your prospects to really engage with your pitch and frame each option in relation to the others you're offering, not just against your competitors. And of course, like Jamie says, it allows you to have that consultative discussion with your prospect. This will help you build the trust that's crucial when establishing those long-term working relationships and locking in that monthly recurring revenue. You should watch this video for another successful MSP's growth advice, or for tips on finding more leads in the first place, check out this one. And please subscribe if you want to buy a second-hand lasagna. I don't know what I'm going to do with them otherwise.